guys, we are almost at the end of our trek. As you saw coming in, we've arrived at my brother's property at Emu, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown of some of the things that worked and what didn't work over our trip. I've pretty much mentioned most of the stuff as we've gone along, but I thought I'd just recap it at to finish everything off. So I'll start with our rock tamers. Obviously I had done a review on those and they did not work very well for us at all. I have been contacted by the company after that review who have offered to do a bit of troubleshooting with us and see if there's a way that we can come to some ideas about what may be able to rectify the problem, but I'm yet to hear back from them at this point. So we're in a little bit of limbo at this stage, but at the moment we're not too happy with that product. The DVC Airbase Duo has been absolutely brilliant. As you've seen, we've used it every single day. We've got it working beautifully at charging on the Anderson plug as we drive each day. Still a little bit glitchy at the minute for solar charging, but the company's working that out at the moment, so that's going to be all sorted, no problems by the time it hits the market. But we are absolutely thrilled with the product, in love with it, and we're looking forward to using that a lot more in the future. So the Starlink has, oh boy, it's been fantastic. It has not let us down. We've had service everywhere when we couldn't get service. The only issue we did have for the very first time was our base camp at Darlington Point over the last couple of days, and that's because if you saw the video, we were surrounded by trees and it was having a little bit of trouble getting good line of sight to the satellites. Even though it did work, it wasn't as quick and as fast and as punchy as it has been every other time. So, but otherwise, thrilled to pieces with Starlink, and most definitely we'll be keeping that one on board. So coming through, let's see, where are we? Okay, so we've had a little bit of problems with a couple of latches and things on the van that Jason's going to work out when we get back. Like this one's not locking properly. The door actual mechanism, it separates into a it's supposed to separate into a wire door. When you pop it, for some reason it's sticking. We're not really sure. Sometimes it unsticks there, it sticks up there. One time it let go. We can't force it open. I don't know, he's going to actually have to wait till we're home and he can pull it all apart and fix it, but that's what he does, he's good at. So otherwise, most of the parts on the actual van have worked really well for us and we can't complain. The tyres, as we've seen in episodes, we didn't have a really good run with these tyres. We knew they were pretty cheap, ordinary quality, and probably going to need replacing, but they didn't cope very well with the airing down process that we needed to use and the corrugation. As a result, we've actually lost the use of 2 out of our 6 tyres, so we will be looking at having to replace those, but we suspected that was going to have to happen anyway, so most definitely will have to happen. So coming into the van, excuse all the mess, obviously we haven't cleaned up yet, but coming in, now, inside, we've actually really impressed so far with everything that we've put it through. You may have heard in other episodes that our fridge stopped working after about a week and we had to shuffle everything around and it wasn't flicking over to gas, and oh, it was a nightmare. So every night when we pulled up, we kept just trying to flick it over to gas to see if it was going to work. Several days ago, who knows why, it started working again when we flick it over to gas. So at the moment it's not showing that there's any problems, but it's obviously got some issues. It's either dust ingressing into the back section that's catching up, or Jason suspects maybe the control panel needs to be changed over, but I don't know. At the moment it's working, so who knows. That's something we do need to fix. With all the rocking and belting about, the only things we found a couple of times were some of the oven knobs fell off, strangely enough. That's a very easy fix when we get back. But you know, nothing major there. Once I think a drawer fell out, and the toothbrush holder would occasionally pop out, and the toothbrush and toothpaste would be on the floor if I'd forgotten to put it in the sink. But otherwise, everything's travelled really well. We haven't had anything break. Everything's been pretty solid, and as you can see, we've been putting it through some rough paces as well. So we're really happy with the internal workings of the van. Just a couple of little tweaks here and there. I don't think there's anything else that we really have needed to talk about or had any issues with, is there, Jade?
No, it's all been good. Very happy.
Really happy with it all. Couple of stats for you I've just done really quickly. We've travelled about, was it 6,500 kilometres?
Yeah, six, 7.
Yeah, okay. So in that period of time, we've still got couple of hundred, 230k from here to get home tomorrow, and I've just done a very rough calculation, and we're very pleasantly surprised with our fuel bill. We've only spent just under $2,800. So obviously we're going to have to fuel before we get home again, but we're going to come in under $3,000 for the entire trip in fuel, which we're actually really happy about. We were expecting it to be a lot higher than that. So happy days there. And as far as everything else, yeah, I don't really have anything else I don't think that I need to report. If there is anything that you can think about, I knocked myself out, that you may want to ask about that we've experienced along the way, then please pop in some comments. Make sure you follow along. As I said, we are going to be doing and videoing more of our adventures as they come along. But for now, we have to go back to work and actually make some dollars so we can keep making this magic happen. But thank you for joining along. Hope you've had as much fun as we certainly have in enjoying everything. And we look forward to bringing our next lot of adventures and episodes to you. Thanks. Hey, me again. Just wanted to say a massive shout out and a huge thank you to South Australian Parks and Passes. You may have seen that we ended up paying for our Simpson Desert passes when we were out on the track because we got a little bit of misinformation and thought it was okay to pass. As it turned out, we couldn't actually, unfortunately, do the Simpson Desert portion of our trip. So whilst we're away, I thought I would give it a go and send them a message and ask them if it was possible to get our refund back of our Parks Pass, which was $182 each car, so it was quite substantial. And they have come to the party, and all we've had to do is return our books and they will refund us in full. So huge thank you, very grateful for that. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask these questions. If these situations ever happen to you, you can only ask, can't you? But we're stoked. Thanks again, guys.